by Sara Ramirez, who's just phenomenal. It's a beautiful, pure voice, as you heard in the movie. She also sings beautifully, and she was originally in the village as a commoner. She was a shoemaker, and she was perfectly happy being a shoemaker. She just so happened to be called up to the castle to put a new pair of shoes or a new pair of slippers.
Yep.
Which turned out to be black slippers, not blue.
Yeah, the king needs a new pair of slippers, and so she comes to the castle with her slippers, with Queen and Sofia, and the slipper fits, and they fall in love.
So it's a kind of obviously reversal on the glass slipper, and he wasn't. So they got married, and Roland, I believe, I always couch Roland in this way. I think Roland is like a good king, but I think that there's a he's like status quo kind of guy, He wants to, he like his daughter, wants to keep it kind of like, here it is, this is the way we're going to do it. That gives us an opportunity for Sofia to be the rabble-rouser. She's going to be the one that shakes things up, and Miranda's going to be the one that shakes things up a little bit. It's like, why is it that way? That's the way it's always been.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and he's inclined to, he's open to that because, he's King Roland II. So his father, King Roland I, was like the greatest king and chance he ever saw. And King Roland, but he wasn't the greatest dad. He was busy ruling the kingdom, and so King Roland II has really wants to be both a great king and a great father, and that's what motivates him. And I think it's probably part of the reason he fell for Miranda, because Miranda is all about her daughter and her family. And so, it's just as important to be a good dad as a good king.
And the clincher for him is that's something he's still learning how to do.
Yeah.
He's learning how to be a good dad.
So he's very stiff sometimes, and he doesn't know whether to be royal or to be dad, and that's what he grapples with. And, sometimes he's just kind of a goofball.
Do we hear what happens to their mother, the former queen? Do we know that?
We never touch on it in the series.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because we've all talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
But we go into schools and we talk to kids and moms all the time, and it's never come up.
Mm-hmm.
Which, they've been so fascinated with Sofia's journey, and again, that's what we're focusing on.
Right.
We know why, but
Right.
it's not important to the story.
No.
So.
Well, I love that it's a blended family.
I was going to say, but that does come up all the time from moms and
huge.
kids, that it's a blended family that gets along.
We hear
Yeah,
that.
we get
We
stepmother.
hear those things a lot when we tell the stories to young girls and their mothers. They're very happy that there's both a blended family, and they're very happy that it was interesting. We were wanting to know what would happen because we have these stories where the kids, where Sophia and Amber don't get along. They have a problem. They have to work out, and so what was interesting is at the end of it is, when you ask people what their favorite parts are and what their least favorite parts are, of course, usually people don't like the parts where people don't get along. Well, one of the mothers was like, what? I really loved that they didn't get along because that happens in my household. But I then loved that they figured it out and they made up. And they were just so happy that we'd addressed like a situation that they could relate to and showed how it could work out. So that was neat because you would expect them not to like that part, but they latched on to that.
Is there an educational element to any of the show?